You've made a decision, and it's going to change both of our lives. It's the right decision, and you know it. But you also know that it's going to hurt. I want you to say it. Joker was right. Today on the Comic Book Report, Batman Ghost Stories. Stick around and check it out. Greetings from the Batcave, everyone. My name is Dominic, and you're tuning in to the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. And today we're taking a look at Batman Ghost Stories, the hardcover. This is volume 3 of James Tynion's run on the title, and immediately follows the Joker War storyline. Well, I finished reading, and I'm very eager to go ahead and give it a review today, so let's get going. First, some quick facts about today's collection. Batman Ghost Stories was written by James Tynion IV and penciled primarily by Guillaume March. The issues collected in this volume were first published by DC Comics beginning in 2020. The volume itself collects Batman issues 101 to 105, a story from Detective Comics 1027, and Batman Annual issue 5. And finally, this standard size hardcover comes in at 176 pages. At this time, I'd like to issue a general spoiler warning. I will be flipping through today's collection and commenting on plot points. You've been advised. Okay, and here's our first look at that standard size hardcover from DC Comics. On the front cover, we have a great picture of Batman with some beautiful pencil work. It's a really good indication of what you'll find inside this volume. You'll notice that the primary color for this dust jacket is a nice purple. You'll see that on some of the end pages and the pages between the issues within the collection. Just a really beautifully put together collection here. Really happy with it, and a good follow-up to Joker War. The edition formatting is consistent for the rest of the Tynion run so far, and I'm definitely someone who enjoys consistency. Now I want to take a moment just so you can see that dust jacket again, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you the under the dust jacket artwork. They did something really special with this volume. I love the art choices they made for the cover design and the book design. Just really outstanding. The colors are gorgeous, the book is gorgeous, and I'm really happy with this. You can see here, it's just a beautiful wraparound cover. The grayscale is a really nice touch. You can see kind of the bats kind of around here and there. Really, really stunning work here by DC. I'm loving all the under the dust jacket artwork they've treated us to lately. Okay, now just a real quick look at the binding for this volume. Not the most incredible binding in the world. Tiny bit of gutter loss, but not too bad. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and proceed into the collection proper. Like I said, beautiful book, beautiful end pages, the front matter, all the coloring is just so vibrant and I love it. I will say that like the other Tynion collections I've seen so far, all these reprints are on a matte paper stock. I noticed that DC is printing a lot more matte paper reprints. These aren't my favorite. I prefer the gloss. That being said, the matte quality paper is pretty high in my opinion. The colors all really pop, and you still get a really good, appreciable amount of detail in the artwork that is just reprinted very well. No real complaints there. And as far as the plotline goes, Batman Ghost Stories is the follow-up to the Joker War storyline. Joker War did a lot of things, including resetting the kind of status quo for Batman and who he is now, his level of resource, and exactly how he wants to target crime fighting and things like that. Within this book, we have a kind of define the relationship DTR talk between Batman and Catwoman to a degree. Nothing too crazy, but kind of a debrief after Joker War. We also have Batman confronting with the dreaded Ghostmaker, who is revealed to be someone from Bruce Wayne's past. This kind of storyline is a little overused in my opinion. We've seen it with Batman Hush, amongst other Batman works, where there's inexplicably a character or person who had a pretty predominant role in Bruce Wayne's upbringing or life, who has gone unmentioned all these years in his history. To me, I really feel like they do this to kind of up the stakes or automatically instill this character with more gravity and weight by kind of giving him a foothold into the life of our primary character without it maybe being as earned. I think I would like to see more conflicts with villains that just show up, rather than kind of unraveling these layers and layers of mystery and connections to Bruce Wayne's past. That being said, I still think it was a fun addition. I think Ghostmaker is a very cool character. He's kind of the dark mirror to Batman, who, he had a lot of the same training when Bruce Wayne was kind of traveling around the world to receive the best training. This Ghostmaker character was essentially receiving a similar amount of training, but he's a little bit of a sociopath and a little bit utilitarian and justifies the means. And he's willing to use lethal force. Batman and him have a lot of conflicts, and you get to see throughout this volume the kind of rise and fall of their friendship and the deal that was struck to keep Ghostmaker out of Gotham and why he's here now. Really an interesting story if you can stomach the kind of intrusion into Bruce Wayne's past, but I still really liked it. Within this book as well, we get further development of the Clownhunter and Harley Quinn, and the Clownhunter and his dynamic with Harley Quinn, all of which is really fascinating. And I love how Tynion kind of used all these dynamics together with the Ghostmaker to really weave a really compelling, fun, and quick storyline. This story definitely doesn't have the scope or the gravity of the Joker War storyline, but I think that's actually to its benefit. I don't always love these big, broad event books. I sometimes like just these single one-off stories that have a couple issues attached to them, and that's really what we have here. Similarly to Their Dark Designs, where it was a complete story in and of itself, except for the part that led into Joker War, Ghost Stories is very similar as well, minus some of the lead-in. It's just a fine standalone story in and of itself, and it was a breath of fresh air. I really enjoyed reading it and had no real complaints. I also think March's artwork and his pencil work in this collection is just getting better and better throughout the run with Tynion. I just can't believe how gorgeous the pencil work looks along with the coloring. It really just pops off of these pages. There's a lot of kind of cool blues and purples juxtaposed with some reds, and you just see it throughout the collection a lot. It's really striking and really moving and moody, and I think it really serves this kind of modern Batman feel very well. Batman has had a lot of really good pencilers throughout the years, and I think that March on the Tynion run is one of my favorites. You get a lot of detail and a lot of just, like I said, atmosphere and mood, and that's just such a pitch perfect thing to have in a Batman book. I think some of the standout character moments from this collection are the developments of both Clownhunter and Harley Quinn, as I mentioned earlier. We see Tynion explore the kind of growth these characters have post-Joker War. We have Harley Quinn kind of coming into herself a little more, figuring out who she's going to be, her role as kind of a chaotic good character, I suppose. And we have Clownhunter kind of in the wake of all of the Joker War stuff, his first confrontations with Batman, trying to sort out who he is, what he stands for, what his code of ethics are or are not, and who he kind of wants to be. We also get to see a lot of just his youth in this collection. We get to see Batman as kind of a weird mentor figure. We see Clownhunter in the lens of almost kind of a slightly more corrupted Robin figure. At least that's what it seems like. And you have Batman's philosophy about the Clownhunter kind of juxtaposed against the Ghostmaker's philosophy on him, which is that he's just a murderer that needs to be put down like the rest of them. And that clash leads to some good conflicts. We also have some great conflicts between Harley Quinn and Clownhunter. I think if you've enjoyed either of those characters lately, then this volume is one for you. Because that development was such a cornerstone, especially of the end half of this book, it's worth noting as one of the highlights for the character growth and development. I also think he did a good job at Batman, dealing with just the wrap-up of all the Joker War trauma. No real big punch-out moments for me with Batman himself in the present day. I do think some of the flashback scenes with Ghostmaker when he was growing up as, Bruce Wayne and, getting his training beside Ghostmaker, I thought all of that was actually really interesting. I love a good flashback. Like I said, sometimes I think it can be overutilized in Batman books as like a quick reach for more dramatic tension, but I still think it's done well, and I want to applaud it for that. I loved the flashback sequences, and I think that Batman's relationship with Clownhunter was certainly fascinating on how that, again, kind of mimics the Batman-Robin relationship and mimics kind of how he views mentorship and instilling positive values and second chances, things like that. After the Ghostmaker storyline in this volume, we also have some cool issues. One that deconstructs more of the Clownhunter's character as he tries to reform with Leslie Tompkins, and then a story with Batman and Robin and Deadman. Again, kind of this ghost haunting motif. Really fits well in this collection, makes it ghost stories. Super well done. Enjoyed those inclusions. They felt like bonus features, and then we of course have the cover gallery and all the special features at the end as well. Overall, I'm not sure that everyone needs to read Batman Ghost Stories, particularly if there's a lot of other Batman classics out there you haven't read yet. But for people that just like to keep up with Batman or are looking for more stories they want to read, this is definitely on the top end of that tier for me. I really enjoyed the ride, and I think it's time we go ahead and give Batman Ghost Stories a grade. For successfully following up on the Joker War saga, and treating us to more beautifully moody pencil work while introducing us to some fun new characters as well as developing old ones, even if it does lean a bit on exploring Batman's past yet again. The Comic Book Report happily gives Batman Ghost Stories a B. This is definitely an above average Batman story for me that I thoroughly enjoyed reading. Have you read Batman Ghost Stories? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this has been the Comic Book Report. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a comment or check out some of my other videos. Have a good one.